Every year, companies pour billions of dollars into leadership development programs. They want to turn their managers into inspiring visionaries. But what if I told you that a massive chunk of that money is completely wasted? According to a 2023 research article, leadership development is failing us. Here is how to fix. In the MIT Sloan Management review by researchers Hannes Leroy, Moran Anisman-Razin, and Jim Detert, the leadership development industry is in a crisis, as per the authors. In fact, they say it's gotten so bad that it's hard to tell the difference between actual effective training and plain old snake oil. But why is leadership development failing us? And more importantly, how do we fix it? Let's dive in. The researchers looked at dozens of business schools and interviewed almost 50 human resources executives. What they found was shocking. Most leadership programs aren't backed by scientific evidence. Instead of proving that a program actually makes someone a better leader, 70% of program directors admitted they just settled for positive reactions. Basically, if people smiled and had fun, they called it a success. But how are companies picking these programs? The HR executives admitted it's a lot like online dating on Tinder. They're swiping right based on superficial looks, a slick website, or a super charismatic speaker rather than actual substance, content, and things that make a difference. The consequences of this are brutal. Wasted resources, for example. Companies burn cash on programs that do nothing. A stagnant pipeline. Without real development, companies can't grow their next gen of innovators. Lots of eroded trust. Employees feel like the time was wasted, which breeds cynicism and a lack of motivation towards employee development programs, leadership courses, and so on. But it's not hopeless, as per the authors. Leroy and his team developed a simple, powerful framework to cut through the garbage. If you want a leadership program that actually works, it needs three perfectly aligned elements in their opinion: vision, method, and impact. Let's go in further. First up is vision. You can't just say we want better leaders. You have to get specific. What exact behaviors are you trying to change? How do those changes tie directly into the company's strategic goals? Second, the method. No more trust falls just for the sake of it. The teaching methods, whether it's coaching, mentorship, or action learning, need to be backed by actual scientific evidence that proves they develop leadership skills. Third is impact. You have to measure the results and know how did you like the seminar survey at the end does not count. We're talking about robust measurements like 360-degree feedback, where we ask a manager's boss, peers, and team if they've actually improved. Has these courses made a difference? Or longitudinal studies that track progress over months and years. True research-based improvement feedback. So if you are the one signing the checks for these programs, stop asking, does this look good? And start asking, what specific skills will this develop? What's the scientific evidence behind your teaching method? How exactly will we measure the real world impact? Now, having a solid framework is great, but the workplace is changing faster than ever. If you want to truly future-proof your leadership pipeline, you need to look beyond the formal classroom. Here are a few rapid-fire ways the best companies are adapting. Customization. Drop the one-size-fits-all approach. Your junior marketing managers don't need the exact training as your senior engineers. Continuous learning. Leadership isn't a one-time weekend retreat. It's an ongoing culture of coaching, mentorship, peer support, and other things that go into their personal development. Embracing tech and data. We are seeing a huge rise in VR simulations and AI-driven personalized learning to test leaders in high-stress virtual environment. Global agility. Today's leaders need cultural intelligence to manage diverse global and remote teams through unpredictable changes. At the end of the day, formal programs are just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic happens when senior executives actually champion these initiatives and model continuous learning for themselves and for others. Leadership development doesn't have to be a guessing game. By demanding evidence, focusing on real impact, and treating leadership as an everyday practice rather than an annual event, we can build the leaders we actually need for the future. A great article, take a look at it when you have some time. Thanks for watching. I have cited this reference in my book, Competency Based Human Resource Management Future of Work, published by Himalaya Publishing.